Kim Kardashian is blaming ChatGPT for failing her law exams. The Kardashian star, who graduated from her law program in May, reveals that she used ChatGPT to help her study for her school exams, but it occasionally steered her in the wrong direction.
In 2025, Kim Kardashian once again proved that in the world of celebrity culture, every word and every action can ignite a storm. Known for her ability to shape headlines, Kim spent much of the year fighting through one controversy after another. This time not about her personal life, but about credibility, responsibility, and the limits of fame itself. Between her confession about using ChatGPT to cheat on law exams, her public doubts about the moon landing, and the backlash over her daughter North's fashion choices, she found herself at the center of three firestorms that exposed the growing tension between influence and accountability.
Do you use ChatGPT for life advice?
No.
Do you use it at all?
Yes.
What about dating advice?
No.
Do you consider ChatGPT to be a friend?
No. I use it for legal advice.
It began with what seemed like an offhand comment during an interview for her Hulu show. Kim casually admitted that she had been using ChatGPT to study for her legal exams. She said it started as an experiment, joking that she called the chatbot her study buddy. But then came the bombshell. She confessed that she relied on it too heavily, letting the AI write out full answers, and that it often got things wrong, leading her to fail a few practice tests. "I was literally yelling at ChatGPT," she laughed, describing it as a toxic friend.
Technically, you and ChatGPT are friends, just toxic friends.
Toxic
Sounds like
friends,
a toxic
but they need
relationship.
to do better because I'm leaning to them to really help me.
What was meant to sound playful quickly became serious. Viewers weren't laughing. Legal experts and educators reacted immediately, calling her comments irresponsible. Kim Kardashian might not be a traditional law student, but she's setting a terrible example, one law professor said on social media. Others accused her of normalizing academic dishonesty, especially given her ongoing campaign for criminal justice reform. As one journalist put it, "You can't advocate for legal ethics while joking about cheating with AI." Online reactions were divided. Fans defended her, saying she was being transparent about using technology like millions of others. But critics argued that she trivialized a profession built on discipline and integrity. The controversy spilled into talk shows and morning news segments. Everyone had an opinion. Was Kim just being honest about modern study habits? Or was she turning her bar exam journey into a reality TV gimmick? A few weeks before the AI controversy, Kim made headlines for a very different reason, one that had nothing to do with law or technology.
Kim Kardashian is blaming ChatGPT for failing the California bar exam. During an interview with Tiana Taylor, Kardashian revealed she used the AI chatbot to study.
During a casual conversation with actress Sarah Paulson on her show, she unexpectedly sparked a scientific debate by admitting she wasn't entirely convinced that the 1969 moon landing was real. "I just don't get how the flag was moving," she said with a puzzled laugh. "There's no wind in space, right?" She also pointed out how strange it seemed that no stars were visible in the footage. Her remarks were brief, but the internet didn't wait long to react. Within hours, clips flooded social media, and the phrase "Kim Kardashian doesn't believe in the moon landing" began trending worldwide. NASA officials quickly stepped in with an explanation. The agency clarified that the flag moved because it had a horizontal rod to keep it extended, and that the stars were invisible simply because of the camera's exposure settings. Scientists, educators, and even astronauts joined the discussion, posting detailed breakdowns and debunking videos on TikTok and X. "This isn't cute," one astrophysicist tweeted. "When you have hundreds of millions of followers, misinformation from you spreads faster than truth." The moment, meant to be playful, turned into a global talking point about celebrity influence and responsibility. For someone studying law and trying to reshape her image as a thoughtful advocate, the misunderstanding came across as careless. A reminder that even a casual comment from Kim can turn into an international debate. But while her AI confession and moon comments sparked debate, it was the third controversy that cut deepest, because it involved her family. In October, Kim traveled to Rome for a fashion event with her daughter Northwest, now 12. The mother-daughter duo turned heads immediately, but for all the wrong reasons. North wore a black corset-style top, heavy blue braids, and what appeared to be a dermal face piercing. Kim proudly posted the photos, writing, "My girl's Roman moment." But the internet didn't see it that way. Critics accused her of pushing North into adult fashion too soon. Parenting experts and fans alike expressed discomfort. "She's 12, one comment read, "Let her be a kid." The backlash spread rapidly. Within days, talk shows were debating celebrity parenting boundaries. Some accused Kim of using her children for social media engagement. Others defended her, arguing that North is creative and confident, and that her mother is simply allowing her to express herself. Still, the controversy was everywhere, and it struck at one of Kim's most sensitive areas: motherhood. Kanye West's previous warnings about North's exposure online resurfaced. In older interviews, he had expressed concern about their daughter being overly visible at a young age. That context reignited the debate. Was Kim protecting her daughter or exposing her too much to an unforgiving world? Inside her camp, there was growing concern about brand impact. While SKIMS and SKKN continued to thrive financially, image consultants worried about credibility fatigue. Each controversy chipped away at her broader goal of being seen as more than a celebrity. Kim's empire depends not just on attention, but on trust. From customers, from fans, from corporate partners. Too much controversy, and even the strongest brand can start to bend. Kris Jenner once again took charge of the cleanup. Her strategy was twofold: shift focus and humanize Kim. The family arranged softer, family-oriented media appearances and emphasized Kim's dedication to her law studies and her children. Meanwhile, Kim quietly limited the number of posts featuring North and her siblings. Insiders said she was shaken by the backlash, realizing how fast admiration could turn into criticism. Despite the chaos, one thing about Kim Kardashian remains constant: her ability to turn setbacks into stepping stones. Analysts have long noted that no one navigates scandal quite like she does. Each controversy becomes a pivot point, reshaping her image. When she was mocked for being famous for nothing, she built billion-dollar businesses. When her marriages fell apart, she turned heartbreak into documentary episodes about resilience. Now, facing criticism over technology, science, and parenting, she's trying once again to transform fallout into evolution. Meanwhile, a darker chapter from Kim's life unexpectedly returned to the headlines. Nearly a decade after the harrowing 2016 Paris robbery, where Kim was bound, gagged, and held at gunpoint in a luxury apartment, the criminal trial of the suspects finally began in 2025. Kim was called to testify, and for the first time in years, she was forced to relive the trauma in public. Her testimony was raw. She described fearing for her life, pleading with masked gunmen, and thinking she would never see her children again. The press covered every word. Fans rallied behind her, posting messages of support and flooding social media with #JusticeForKim. But the coverage also reopened old wounds. Some questioned why the footage of her emotional testimony was included in a recent Hulu episode. Was it a brave attempt to document her truth, or another case of commodifying pain for views? The trial brought mixed emotions: sympathy and scrutiny, empathy and exhaustion. Once again, Kim found herself caught in the paradox of modern fame, suffering in public while being judged for how publicly she suffers. And then there was the salmon sperm facial. In late 2024, Kim made headlines for revealing she had tried a luxury skincare treatment that used salmon DNA to rejuvenate the skin. The revelation quickly went viral, not because of the science, but because of the strangeness. The internet exploded. Memes, mockery, and late-night jokes dominated the conversation. Critics called it the pinnacle of celebrity absurdity, a symbol of vanity so extreme it felt like parody. Kim, unfazed, brushed it off. She said she was always willing to try new beauty innovations and saw it as harmless curiosity. But the moment added another layer to the growing image problem. For someone trying to be taken seriously in law and policy, the salmon sperm facial became an easy punchline, a shorthand for how out of touch celebrity life can sometimes appear. Isn't the only old controversy being dredged up. Years ago, Kim had posted a promotional ad for a morning sickness drug called Declegis on Instagram. But there was one problem. The post didn't include the FDA required warnings and disclaimers. The US Food and Drug Administration flagged it, calling it misleading. Kim deleted the original post and uploaded a new one with the proper legal text. The incident faded from the headlines, but not from memory. In 2025, as Kim became more vocal about health and wellness topics, and as she continued to leverage her platform for product endorsements, critics and academics resurfaced the Declegis episode. It became a case study in university classes on media ethics. Once again, the core question emerged: where is the line between being an influencer and being accountable? Kim had crossed that line before, and the world hadn't forgotten. One of the most persistent and sensitive critiques Kim continues to face revolves around the accusation of blackfishing. It's a term used to describe non-black individuals who alter their their appearance to look racially ambiguous or black, often through tanning, hairstyles, and styling that draws from African American culture. Kim has long been at the center of that debate. Over the years, she's been called out for darkened skin tones in photo shoots, wearing traditionally black hairstyles like cornrows, and embracing aesthetics deeply rooted in black communities. Critics argue she profits off these looks without acknowledging the culture behind them, effectively commodifying identity. Supporters counter that she's simply embracing trends or exploring her Armenian heritage. Kim herself has occasionally addressed the issue, saying she never intends to offend and that her style choices are about appreciation, not appropriation. But the backlash resurfaces every time a new campaign drops. And in 2025, with the launch of new SKKN visuals, it happened again. To some, the pattern has become impossible to ignore. To others, the whole debate feels overblown. But the discussion isn't going away, because in an era where identity, race, and representation are more scrutinized than ever, how Kim presents herself and who she chooses to emulate will always be under the microscope. Finally, there's the lingering issue that ties many of these controversies together: Kim's role as a mother in the spotlight. Beyond North's high-profile fashion choices, Kim has long been criticized for how much she allows her children to appear in the media. From coordinated photo shoots to viral TikToks, her kids are regularly seen by millions, often in curated, adult-like ways. Some accuse her of exploiting her children for content. Others see it differently: a working mom trying to integrate her family life into a world that never stops watching. But the criticism is constant, whether it's about their designer clothes, their video appearances, or their involvement in her businesses. Kim is reminded over and over that being a celebrity mom means being judged relentlessly. In the end, 2025 wasn't just a year of scandals for Kim Kardashian. It was a mirror held up to a woman who has spent 2 decades walking the edge between cultural icon and controversy magnet. A mirror to a world that made her, judged her, and continues to follow her every move with fascination and fatigue. The story doesn't end here. It never does with Kim. The spotlight may dim and flare, but it never really disappears. And neither does the tension between who she is and who the world expects her to be. Because in a life built on reinvention, the biggest challenge isn't a failed test or a viral misstep. It's deciding who you want to become next when everyone's already watching.